Welcome back, friends. We are looking at the worst day in the stock market in 2021. Yes, you've heard that right, down 2.53%. Crypto market looking just as worse at negative 7% on the overall crypto market. Let's talk about what might actually be driving this and what I don't think enough people are talking about when it comes down to what's happening today. It's not so much Black Friday, it's more Red Friday today as a result of the stock and crypto market. As always, this is a no hype zone. We're going to talk through the realistic points of what actually is going on so that you can make the best, most informed decision. Everybody that drives me nuts are those people that say, for example, oh, it's going down, the stock market's a scam, I hate it, I'm not doing it. And then when something pops off and it's going to the moon, everybody jumps into it. Why would you jump into it when it's up here? Because what'll happen is it's going up, right? Just follow my hand here for a little bit. It's going, no, I'm gonna do this a little bit better, guys. We're gonna go one step further here. I'm gonna pull up my iPad. We're gonna do a little demonstration because this is what drives me nuts, is people that do this right here. You ready? Don't be this person, because I know you're not. You know why? Because you're smart and you're watching this channel, so hats off to you for that. But look, there are these people that as the stock, we're gonna make this green, as the stock goes up, right? It's going up, of course it's gonna have its dips, right? What people do is that right here, where we're on a downward trajectory, right there, do you see how it's going down? In fact, I'm gonna make this right here, right there, okay? We're going down. People end up saying, I'm selling, I bought in right here, it's going down, this thing is a scam, I hate it. So people sell. And then all of a sudden big news comes out and it goes on to its next run. And right about here is where hype starts happening. There's a lot of videos that get put out. And yes, of course, because you guys are interested, I do videos on things like that as well, no matter what it is, whether it's a stock or a cryptocurrency. And then you keep buying in. You start buying, and then your average price is way up here. And then guess what it does again? It does another correction. And then people get fearful and they end up selling. So look what happens. Buy high, sell low. Buy high, sell low. You are in this hamster wheel of just losing money. And you don't want that, right? Like, the people that do that are the ones that typically are like, meh, 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 it doesn't work, it's a scam, meh, it doesn't work. Meh. Those are the people that, but think about it this way. If you bought here on a stable conservative investment, or if you really believe in even a wild investment, let's say you buy there, look at where you're at. You don't really care about anything. You're up here now. You're chilling. You're chilling where everybody else is crying because you're not worried about this short-term crap in here. You're just saying, yeah, I bought here, 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 I bought here. I just keep buying it because I trust and believe in what I'm investing in. And that, my friend, this person here that continued on, man, they're killing it. But those people that aren't, that's what's worried. So what I do when it comes down to these fearful markets is I'm like, man, this is an opportunity to take my cash reserves and buy things that I've done my due diligence research on. Put money into those type of stocks, put money into those type of cryptocurrencies, and then forget I even did it. Pretend like I flushed the money down the toilet. I don't need it. I don't need it tomorrow, next month, or next year. I'm setting it and forgetting it. You might have already seen this part. We'll start with the easy basic part, and that is the fact that the COVID variant, yes, another COVID variant, is causing a lot of uncertainty in the market, and that is driving things down. And I actually think I just found the name of it. So we've had the Delta variant. I think that happened like early July 2021. This one is called Omicron. We like to stick with the Greek alphabet, I guess, when we name these Delta variants. So Omicron is next, and of course that's bringing a lot of pressure onto the stock market on what should be a great Thanksgiving weekend. But that's not the only thing driving down the market, but let's start with there first because that's what a lot of people are pointing to. You can see it right here on a CNBC News article, down 2.53%, November 26th. You can see all the other dates where we dropped down, including July 19th, when we had that last scare of the Delta variant, down 2.09. So this one obviously is pushing a little bit more downward pressure, but even more so on the overall travel industry. Look at Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. Look at that sharp fall off. Same thing happened, of course, with Carnival Cruise Line. Sharp fall off. And not only that, Delta Airlines and the airline industry as a whole. So they are suffering probably the biggest hits in this overall downturn as of today. But as you can expect, what is going well? Well, the good thing that's going on is that Moderna stock is up significantly. Look at this rise up. In fact, from yesterday to just today, we are up. I'll go all the way to the end here. We're up 20% on Moderna stock. Look at Pfizer, same type of thing happening here. Why is that happening? Because of course there's a little bit of confidence saying, okay, we have a new variant coming out. As a result, maybe these guys are gonna come out with a vaccine or some other way to combat this when it comes out and hopefully does not spread. But if it does, God forbid, these guys hopefully will help us. So there's a little bit of confidence pushed onto these companies. And meanwhile, the travel industry is getting a little bit of a hit. This brings us to this right here. This is the Fear and Greed Index. I'll link this in the description if you want to check it out, but you can see right now we're in a fear trajectory at 35. Look at what the previous close was. We were in greed, and 1 year ago in extreme greed. So a lot of people get scared, and rightfully so, right? Things are kind of scary when you hear about a new variant coming out, or you hear about, hey, the stocks are going down. What should I do? Should I cut my losses? Should I take my profit? What should I do? Make sure you have your foundation set up. That's the first thing that I look at. Is everything set up and on autopilot? You know, the most people that hold for the longest end up being the most wealthiest people because they're not trying to make quick profits overnight. They're letting it sit, they forget about it. As Warren Buffett says, be greedy when people are fearful, be fearful when people are greedy. Right now, people are becoming a little bit fearful. Is this an opportunity to buy in? Do some research. Obviously, this is not financial advice here on the channel, but do some research because this is an opportunity to at least understand there's some fear in the market. If you have some cash on hand that you're willing to depart with, this could be a good time to consider investing into what makes most sense to you. I will tell you one thing that really is annoying me right now is that every time over the last couple of fear markets that we've hit in the last couple months, I always have less cash reserve. So if you're not aware, one thing that I do in my investments is I always have a big cash reserve. And I do that for periods like this. When we have a pullback, this is an investment opportunity. Talk about a Black Friday sale, right? This is an opportunity if you want to get in on the cruise line stocks, if you want to get on the overall stock market with like a VTI or a VTSAX, or you want to get into cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Shiba Inu, or any of those type of things. It's always nice to have a little bit of a cash reserve for when that pulls back. You can then invest in those type of assets. But for some reason, every time this has happened over the last couple cycles, I am short on cash. And again, I never YOLO my money into anything. So beyond what's going on with the Omicron variant, let's talk about the second thing that's going on that's driving down stocks as well as the crypto market. And that is federal tapering. It's going to affect crypto, but in a little bit of a different way. But right now, it's also impacting the stock market. See, anytime we have like what we call a tsunami, which is things like the COVID original from March 2020 or 2008 financial crisis, there's a little bit of a pullback that has to happen. People are afraid. There's a big tsunami that just hit. So what happens is we see inflation come back to help save the day. This happened in 2008, it's happening now. But we can't keep inflating at 5 to 6% every time a new report on the CPI comes out. So in order to bring that back so your $1 loaf of bread doesn't become $10 for a loaf of bread, we gotta make action happen. The central bank has to make things happen. So this is where the Fed step in and they do something called tapering. Now, if you're not sure what tapering is, think about it this way. Well, the central banks want to keep short-term interest rates very low. And what that does, that encourages individual borrowers as well as businesses to take out additional loans. That way it'll help stimulate the economy, there'll be new innovation and things like that. At the same time, every time they purchase these assets, it injects more money into the overall economy. But when the central banks achieve their goal of economic recovery, they then gradually scale back, otherwise known as tapering, on their asset purchases. What that does, that will bring interest rates up, which will in turn have a little bit of an impact on the bond market as well as stock markets. Now for crypto, it's a little bit different. Usually crypto, at least recently, has been seen as a hedge against inflation. So as inflation is going up, people move their money into cryptocurrency. But then as inflation starts coming back down, there could be a little bit more risk of volatility in the cryptocurrency market. So it's something to keep our eyes on. What's going to happen with the tapering? Right now, we have a difference between what is aggressive and overly aggressive politicians that are saying we need to taper and we need to taper now. Some people are trying to push that back a little bit, but not too far. I think all the federal decision makers have an agreement that we need to do some tapering, but we're not too sure how fast. Do we do it as fast as tomorrow, or do we wait a couple months and then start that tapering? This is something we'll have to keep in mind because it will impact both the stocks as well as our cryptocurrency investments. This of course brings us to the crypto fear and greed index, looking a little bit similar to the stocks, but not as crazy. We're at a 47 on a neutral, but you do see that yesterday was at a fear at 32, last week fear of 34, and then the prior month at 73. So what's going on with that is not only everything I just mentioned related to stocks, it does actually bleed over into the crypto market, but we also have some Bitcoin options expiring. So let's look at CoinMarketCap just to kind of give an example. We're down 7.63% in the global cryptocurrency market cap. You can see, of course, there's a lot of drop off, just like we saw with the Royal Caribbean stock and with some of those travel stocks, right? Right around here, boom, goes down, goes down. This could be a great Black Friday sale if you have some cash reserves that you're willing to depart with. This could be nice. Ethereum's down. Some of those nice, solid investments in crypto are down. Even down here, some of our fun plays, as we talk about a lot of Shiba Inu. I'm a big fan of Shiba right now. Down 39.43, down 17% on the last 7 days and 6.37% in the last day. But with Bitcoin specifically, look at this article right here. Bitcoin bulls risk losing $365 million upon Friday's Bitcoin options expiration. So what that means, I'm going to come down here and cut right to the chase. What they want to do is they are setting call options on the Bitcoin market. And it functions somewhat similar to the overall options market in general. But this right here cuts right to the chase. You can see there are 720 calls and 7,490 puts. This net result favors bear put options by 365 million, which is why this headline says bears can secure a 365 million gain sub 56K. Where are we sitting right now? 54K. So the bears that put all these put options against Bitcoin are feeling pretty good. Not only that, the expiration of up here, where we have the opposite effect between 60 and 62, 6,100 calls versus 2,300 puts, that's a big difference as well. And that results in a shift favoring the call bull instruments by 230 million. But of course, as you can see, it's going the opposite way. That's putting downward pressure on the Bitcoin market. And of course, typically when that happens, a lot of other things in the crypto assets follow Bitcoin's leads. Ethereum, Litecoin, Shiba, even Dogecoin. Those type of things will tend to have some volatility when Bitcoin's acting up. And this is what's going on here. Very similar to the witching hour that we've talked about here on the channel before, where you approach this perfect storm. In fact, it's going to happen the third Friday of this coming December 2021. So mark my words, you're going to see some stock volatility on the third Friday of December because another triple witching hour is coming, where you have a lot of options, contracts expiring, a lot of different volatility on the market. It happens. But here's the point. What should you do? Buy, sell, or run away? Doesn't matter what you're investing in. We're going to talk about it both. We're going to talk about stocks and crypto. I always want to make sure that my foundation is set. Very conservative index funds, right? Those things are set and forget. You put money in and you put, for me personally, I'm putting the bulk of my money into that. Then I have the speculative plays in the stock market. Then I have my speculative plays in the crypto market. Anywhere from Bitcoin to Ethereum, all the way down to things that are on a wild ride, such as our Shiba Inu coin. Got a lot of metaverse cryptocurrency, such as Gala. I got Mana coming up. I got Axie Infinity, I have Sandbox. I think that's it for now. I got those 4 assets, but those are kind of my more spec plays. I'm not going all in on those. So I'm not putting all my money into those type of things. To be crystal clear, I'm putting most of my money into the conservative investments, and then the money that I'm okay going on a wild ride with, that's when I'm going in. That's when I'm having fun in that world. Recently, we've been talking a lot about Shiba Inu, but that doesn't mean I'm saying put all the money in Shiba. That's not what's happening. And you have to do what's right for you. I'm just some guy on YouTube who sometimes looks like Woody from Toy Story. A lot of times in high school, I wish they would have taught us some of these things. Sure, cryptocurrency wasn't around when I was in high school, but the problem with everything else in the stock market, they didn't do a good job, I don't think, teaching us. And now we get put out into the world and we end up kind of tripping over ourselves because nobody's doing a proper job in high school teaching us. So this is all about things I wish I knew in high school coming forward to you. I hope this video was helpful. I have nothing to sell you. I have nothing to share, but I do have this cool Dunder Mifflin shirt. I think that's kind of cool. But if you enjoyed the video, like it, subscribe for more, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.